Just like that, 99 Trout is a part of the team. No money spent, and it wasn't that hard. Boys, so today we're going to be starting episode 1 of my No Money Spent series. Now, this is a new series. I've never done something like this, but I am a no money spent grinder. And I kind of want to talk about some of the ways that you can go about getting cards in MLB The Show 23 Diamond Dynasty. And you can get all of the God Squad cards. What's so great about MLB The Show 23 by just playing the game and grinding the game in certain ways that I'm going to be going over. I'm going to be trying to help you guys go from a terrible team to a God Squad by the end of this series, and we're probably going to end up doing at least 1 or 2 of these a week. But I have been grinding, and we have been getting a lot of really good diamonds, and I'm going to be talking about how I actually ended up buying him. I didn't end up packing him, the 99 Mike Trout for the No Money Spent squad. But this is kind of the team right now. You can see that I'm rocking with a Luis Robert in left field. I've got Trout in center, Kondo in right. I'm getting really close to that reward path, and whenever I do, I'm going to get that Murakami card. That's absolutely gross. But for now, we've got Nolan Arenado. He's done pretty good. Luis Arias, and then we've got my favorite budget beast in the game, Eduardo Julian. This guy has been an absolute dog for me. It's just, I don't know what it is about his swing. He kind of has like a Larry Walker type swing this year, and he's really, really good. So don't sleep on this card. This is a great guy that can play almost every position: first, third, left, right, and second. And especially for corner, infield, and second base, this is probably the strongest hitting card in the game. I don't think that that's a hot take. But for first base, I've got Yu Chang. Now, I do have Pete Alonso. I'm thinking about selling him, but I might keep him for the collection. I just really struggled with this card. And I know that I had a debut earlier today where I ended up going yard with him, but for the most part, I just really struggled with him. Yu Chang, I've been doing pretty good. But what's also good about Yu Chang is if I want him to, he can play shortstop. I wish I could put Kyle Schwarber at first. Actually, I can. So we might try this out. To where we go somewhere like this, and then in the DH spot, I'll go like a Big Poppy. So that's probably going to be the way that we ride it. But I'm going to talk to you guys about how I've ended up getting these cards. It's pretty simple. So the WBC program, if you guys haven't known already, is easily the best program in the game. And this is how I've gotten a lot of my cards that are really good. A lot of my rotation, a lot of stuff like that. How I ended up finishing this, you can see I'm at 295, so I'm a little bit past it. I wasn't lucky enough to pull the Mike Trout out of here. Who I ended up pulling was, Kung Kwan, and I ended up taking him and making him my catcher because I think he's pretty good. He's not a bad catcher at all. So he's there. He's hitting like 200 for me, but you know, he hasn't had that many plate appearances. I like his swing. I think he'll do better than that whenever we put him in a ranked. But if you're lucky enough to pull Mike Trout, dude, hats off to you. That's awesome. I had to end up buying him, and this is how I ended up doing it. So I did start with a digital deluxe edition, so I did start with 20K, but other than that, you can see I have 25,000 afterwards. I would have gotten Trout either way, and that's getting Trout in about 3 days. And the main reason why I think that it's definitely worth it to get this Trout, a lot of people are saying, well, why wouldn't you just save up and get the live series Trout? Well, here's my take, and here's what I'm doing, is I'm going to be keeping Mike Trout, and then I'm going to eventually end up selling this card whenever I have enough stubs. So whenever I get like 200,000 stubs from grinding like the Battle Royale program and stuff like that, I'm going to end up selling this Trout and buying the live series Trout. And so this is kind of a placeholder Trout, and this Trout is better statistically than the 92 is, the live series. But the thing is, with the live series, you can boost him, and you can boost this card as well, but you can boost him with the Angel cards, and he's going to help out an absolute ton. So definitely something that I would keep in mind. So if you want to go after some of these cards that are set 1 but are a little more expensive because you want them for your ranked seasons grind, go and do it. Don't save up for live series. You'll get live series done eventually, and it's just kind of one of those things where the WBC program and those cards that you end up getting from the program are probably just as good, if not better, than the collection rewards. You can see that there's cards like Babe Ruth in this thing that are absolutely stacked up. Chipper Jones, who's 121, 125. My number 1 priority is not getting collections done yet, although we will. But my number 1 priority is getting these cards. So getting this Chipper, getting the Babe Ruth that is maxed out 125s across the board. And this is doable, no money spent. I'm going to talk about how I'm going about it right now. So the first thing that I ended up doing whenever I ended up getting on Diamond Dynasty is I ended up grinding the event. So I have, you can see right here, I just finished the game, so I kind of got to go back into it. But I'm at 25 wins, all right? So if you're not taking advantage of the events are one of the best things you can do for no money spent. You got to grind no money spent this year, and you got to grind events if you are one of those players, because it is free stubs and it's free packs and it's free cards towards the program. Mookie Betts was not somebody that I was really that high on, and so I was okay with going away with him. I sold him for $60K, but I've kept Julio Urias, who I think is a really good arm, and I've kept Pete Alonso. And the way that I kind of just felt good about this and didn't feel too bad about it, even though I'm going for the collection and I sold Mookie Betts, is whenever I sold Mookie, I was able to get Trout. Trout is a huge upgrade from Mookie Betts. It's not even close. And so I might end up grinding the rest of this, but after you do the event, one of the best things you can end up doing if you're wanting to get stubs is going to be grinding this Battle Royale program. Now, I haven't even really gone that into it. I've done, I think, 1 BR run, so I'm at 4. But some of the packs you get for this and some of these cards, these are all cards that are going to help you towards that big collection. And so I'm going to be grinding those today. And we're going to be grinding some BR and some of the showdowns and some of the base cards, the 97 team affinity cards. We're going to be grinding those as well. But this is a great way to get stubs as well. I would recommend keeping all of these guys. Maybe not always. You're not always going to want to do that. Last year I didn't do it a ton, but you're going to need all of these cards for the collection. So don't get rid of these. Make sure you keep these, and it's going to pay off in about a week or a month or 2 months whenever we end up getting 99 Babe Ruth and all of these amazing cards, no money spent, that are going to be way better than any card you could buy. So I'd take the one that's going for the most amount, so whoever's the most expensive. As far as the big boss this year, this is where I'm going to talk about it. Whenever you get to the boss in Battle Royale, we are selling this card, no money spent. 100% we're selling this card, no money spent. And the reason why is it's 77,000. It'll probably still be 70K whenever you end up doing it. I would recommend selling this 85 for Greg Vaughn. I know that this card looks good, but you can sell this guy, buy some of those WBC cards, and go towards that collection that is going to be absolutely huge. So that's kind of the way that I'm going to do it. You're going to be getting stubs along the way. You're going to be getting packs. Hopefully you get lucky and pull something amazing. But the BR program is a must do. Today on No Money Spent, though, we are going to be grinding the showdowns. So if you haven't seen for the big collection, you're going to need all of these cards. And I've kind of gotten a little bit done. You can see I have 12% for the AL East and 13%. It's a little bit different this year to where you can't just keep grinding the showdown. So this is what I'm going to be doing, is I'm grinding the showdown for every single one of these no money spent cards. And then as soon as I do that, I'm actually going to end up doing the conquest, because I feel like you have to do it. But the best way to do it is whenever you end up finishing the showdown, is we're going to take all of the players that we end up getting here. So all of these cards, all of those cards actually have, they have missions and like henchman missions that get you like 3,500 each. And so we're going to make a full team of them, and that's going to make this go as fast as possible. And we're going to use that full team and get the parallel XP while we are playing the showdown and the conquest. So I hope that helps, but that's going to be how we're doing it. Today we're going to grind this Central Showdown. If you're somebody who struggles with Showdown, I did make a how to beat Showdown video, and I'll kind of link that in the top right. So if you want to end up seeing this, if you want more in-depth kind of how-tos, you can watch that video. I'll go over it. Basically, you always want to grab the best hitting card here, so whatever card has the most amount of pop. Honestly, it would probably be Joey Votto or Ian Happ, but I'm taking Miggy just because I love Miguel Cabrera. But always take the guy who swings it the best, because it doesn't matter what position they play, because you're only going to be on offense. We're going to take Mark McGwire, even though he's got little contact. He'll be all right. This is going to be veteran difficulty. Tyler Stevenson looks pretty good. It looks like we're already getting inside edges on cards, which is pretty fun. So we'll take this O'Neal Cruz that looks pretty gross. Now, whenever you're picking perks, you're going to want to pick the ones that are either exit velocity or their 2-strike counts. Now, I'll kind of talk about that. So I'm going to go down but not out. For a lot of these showdowns, you're going to be facing a lot of reliever cards. And so whenever you're facing reliever cards, it's really good to take those 2-strike moments, because whenever you have a lot of outs, if you take till 2 strikes on every single one of them, not only will it really help you whenever you're trying to get hits and stuff, because he'll be out of energy, but he'll start walking you a ton towards the end, and it's kind of just something that's really helped. You can see that I just subbed in a catcher for Miguel Cabrera. Again, we're not playing defense, so that's going to be a good look there. Just make sure you're doing that. You're not forgetting about one of your best bats. Like here we're facing Michael Fulmer. He is a reliever, and so I'm going to be, especially with my perks, I'm taking till 2 strikes all the way. Now, if you're somebody who wants to swing early in the count, it's not necessarily terrible if you're all right with it. But if you're somebody who struggles with showdown, I definitely recommend going through it this way, because they will walk you, plus their energy will get down, which will help you a ton. You're not going to get beat by these guys. It's veteran difficulty, so it's not that hard. You can see on 2 strikes there, I hit a ball 101. It's going to be a double. So, actually, it's going to be a triple because we got 99 speed. That's kind of cool. O'Neal Cruz is a dog, dude. Whenever O'Neal Cruz gets a little live series boost, he might be a budget beast. He might be a budget beast. In these moments, sometimes I will bunt over. A lot of people usually ask in stream if I should bunt or whether they should bunt if they struggle. You can to go out of a double play, especially when you have as many outs as you do in this. Like, this is a 12-out challenge, so I would recommend probably doing that. But at the end of the day, you just need base runners. And so if you're chasing 2 and you've got a runner at first with like 9 outs, it's not necessarily a bad idea to just swing away, because you're just trying to get people on base there, and you don't have to necessarily overthink it, is what I'm saying. So we're gonna go yard with Christian Yelich there. That's gonna be that showdown. I'm probably gonna skip to the last showdown here, and we're not gonna drag out this video to like a 30 or 40 minute video. But I do kind of want to go through this conquest and talk through it with some of you guys. Whenever you're drafting cards, it'll end up giving you a little bit better cards as we go, which is nice and cool. I usually do play out all of these, so some people will like skip to the end, for example, and I would kind of recommend exit velocity while losing is probably the best perk. So if you ever see that one, definitely take it because you're losing in this. And we'll replace Mancada with that bronze, and now we've got a pretty good showdown team. Some people ask if you want to skip to the final showdown. You can, but I would recommend definitely playing out at least 4 or 5. And if you're somebody who struggles, obviously don't do that, because that'll make it a lot harder on the final showdown, and you'll end up regretting it if you end up messing it up. It's not worth it when it's an extra 5 minutes to finish another showdown to help make it easier. Cruz, you know, he's got 99 speed. We got a runner at second base and 5 outs to work with. This wouldn't be a bad time to kind of bunt him over. You see I just missed it. That's not necessarily a bad look, because then you have 5 outs, runner at third, and it's not that hard to hit a ball in the outfield deep enough to score him. Or you can just do what I did there and just hit him home. But just one of those situations. Like, these aren't too hard of showdowns. I understand a lot of you guys struggle with these, but if you're somebody who struggles with this, just know that you'll be okay. Just be patient. It's not going to be too hard. Just keep going. Try not to get too frustrated and flustered. Take strikes if you need to, and it'll help you out a ton. And Byron Buxton sends a shot to the moonshot. So there we go. We have the showdowns done. Now we have one last one. Chris Bryant should end it. There's a homer by Chris Bryant. Now this is a grind. I'm not going to lie. The showdown was a grind. So we just ended up getting that done. We're going to get a lot of cool players from that, and we're going to start our program grind with it. So we get an AL Central pack. We get a NL Central diamond there that we might end up using for the squad, and then we get a couple of just small little live series packs that hopefully we pull something from. But that did, of recording, take around 28 minutes to end up getting that done. So it's a little bit of a grind, but you're definitely going to want to do these. There's a lot of just offline grinding you got to end up doing in the show, and this is one of those things that you got to just get done. If you want a lot of good cards, you want to do it no money spent. If you're not going to spend money on these cards, you're going to have to grind them, and so this is a great way to do it. We'll see if we can pull anybody out of these, but we get some packs here. Just keep all of your cards. I would not sell them, because if you sell them, you're going to need getting them. If you sell them, you're going to end up needing them for the collection anyway, so you'll just have to buy them back later. There's not really a reason to do that. One thing I always usually take in these is pitching, and I love Wayno just because he always really pitches well for me. So I'm taking a Wayno card as a budget beast, and I'm actually going to throw him over Scherzer or McCullers just because I know he's really gross, and he will do fine even with 85 hits per 9. His sinker cutter mix is always really good. As far as who you take in these things, if you need any of these cards, you can definitely take them. For example, there's a Scherzer card if you need a pitcher. That's not bad. And Mini Minoso isn't a bad card either. Some of these can actually hit pretty well. We'll take Greg Holland because he's a bullpen piece, and I definitely need bullpen arms right now. So we'll take him, and we will get rid of... The other thing that helped me get Trout and a lot of these guys that I'm not necessarily talking about a ton in this video because I had a whole video explaining it is my STUBS method. And if you haven't seen that yet, I'll link it at the top as well. But we'll kind of check that out. We might do a couple flips here while we are grinding the WBC program. We're almost done with this video as I think I'm going to end it. If you end up seeing some of these gaps here, 37 to 31 is really good. I'll probably take that one later. I don't even have that much stubs to work with. But let's kind of look around, see anything. Pablo Lopez, 11 to 14 is pretty good. So we'll put in a buy order for Lopez at 11,977. And I have a whole video going over this, so I'm going to link this. But we're going to start that right now, and we'll come back to it later. But it's definitely really good. As far as the program goes, we got a good amount of the way through it. You can see that Team Affinity, we ended up getting the NL Central done, and the NL Central is now at 20,000. To end up getting the big diamond, you get the first one at 60,000, same as last year. And for this one, definitely the go-getter is probably Marcus Stroman or Yelich. These are both really good cards, and you'll need them for the collection as well. Boys, if you enjoyed the No Money Spent series, this is episode 1, and I want to see how this ends up doing, kind of just testing the waters right now. If you want to see more like this, you want to see me grind and what you guys need to end up grinding, how you guys get a lot of these cards, drop a like, drop a sub, drop a comment saying that you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you boys later. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.